Yes, I mean, I told you, right? I had experiences where women were never party to make money making decisions.
Yeah.
And I always want, I'll go that extra mile for women, especially women.
Yeah.
Okay, the woman is taking. So, and I insist that the spouse also has to be in a meeting.
Yeah.
Because what we are creating is a family's goal and not an individual's goal.
Right.
Right? So, woman has to be party to the decision making of money management also.
Hi guys, this is Shruti. Welcome to my podcast, I'm Just Curious, where I talk of all things I'm curious about with the people I'm curious about, people who've turned their passion into their profession. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking to someone who has had an astounding career in finance, who is a certified financial planner, who has a work ex of 17 years, who has MBA in finance from India and also a 1-year life planning program from George Kinder Institute in the US. So I'm very excited to have this guest on my podcast and it's also a little intimidating, but I'm very happy that she did this with me. So hi Nisha, how are you today?
Hey Shruti, I'm good. How are you?
Thank you so much for taking the time to come on my podcast.
Pleasure.
It's really amazing. I feel very, very honored because you have such a big portfolio of achievements and everything, and you still agreed to do this and make time for me. So thank you so much for that.
Pleasure is mine, Shruti.
So let's start from the beginning. You were always into finance, or did it just happen? You stumbled upon it?
So when I finished my class 10, my father always told me, if you choose science, if you choose something which is engineering or medicine, it will change with time.
Yeah.
So if you choose commerce, it will always be same throughout the world. Globally, if you go anywhere, it will always be the same. So debit and credit remains the same.
Yeah.
So that's how I happened to choose commerce. And when I was finishing commerce, I thought, why not? I mean, that time, those were the days when, MBA was, not everybody used to do it. So MBA in finance and marketing, I had a dual specialization.
Right.
So, this was 2005. So as I was pursuing my MBA, clarity came in that, okay, I want to be into finance only.
Right.
And your cards keep opening up of life, I mean, the way they take you.
And you enjoyed doing it?
Absolutely. So I have worked 11 years into an organization, from doing NRI services to mutual fund research to insurance broking. Worked in a boutique kind of a family-run business where I was part of all the verticals. So you go and work in operations, you work in sales, you work in marketing.
Yeah.
And that's how and being a Gujarati, it's always your entrepreneurial genes been there.
Yeah.
So, when we come from India, right? So we have a Bollywood style feeling, right? Okay, 10 साल हम काम करेंगे, फिर अपना कुछ करेंगे. So, that was how the thought was that after 10 years of job experience, I should be having my own company.
Right.
I mean, that was very clear on day one of doing MBA.
Yeah.
So that is how my MBA, made sure that I land up a job where I want to. So I was in the ranking, first 10 ranks in
Wow.
MBA, but I was the last one to get a job in my batch. So, I had a choice. So 5 job offers came in at one go and I had a choice which I want to pursue.
Yeah.
So wanted to be into hardcore finance and especially personal finance because you choose any field, everybody is going to ultimately earn money.
Right.
So when you're earning money, you definitely need to make sure, how you manage it well.
Exactly.
So 90% of the people whom I meet have been unsuccessful in managing their money, but they have been very successful in their career. So you meet a surgeon, you meet a lawyer, you meet an architect. So, that's how, my passion has got me into personal finance space. And I think 5 years ago, I decided to, quits on the job and start off my own.
So, the show is all about people who are following their passion and turning into their profession. So it's great that, that you had a degree in finance and marketing and an MBA in that too, which is a big deal. And, you still decided that, this is exactly what I want to do. And still you said that, people earn money, but it's not easy to keep money, So many people who watch this, they might have a passion. But they also need to keep in mind that that is not the only thing. Managing your finance is a big part of the whole thing. So yeah, it is really, important. So tell me about what was your first job experience like?
So I did only one company, a job in one company,
Right.
and that was for 11 years.
Okay.
But in that 11 years, I have worked in every department.
Okay.
So that made sure that I'm exposed to all the financial services as a bouquet when you offer. So today, if you earn money, what you want. So you will have your goals versus you want to have your investments done. So you want to invest into stocks, mutual funds, debt, fixed deposit, PPF, everything, right? So if I don't have that knowledge, I would not be able to advise you.
Yeah.
So when I did my job, I have gained those knowledge, and then
The practical field
practical,
knowledge
yeah,
while working.
pure, yes,
Yeah.
purely practical experience has been gained. And then added CFP, Certified Financial Planning, way back in 2011. So in India that time only 450 registered planners were there. I was one of them.
Oh, wow.
So that was certified financial planning. And then there's this institute in the US called George Kinder. So he himself happened to visit India.
Okay.
So I got the opportunity to
Meet him?
and learn from him. So it was a residential course where we went and learned life planning. We don't even talk about life planning in India at all. Okay, see, financial planning we have started talking. Especially COVID has made sure that we speak about it. Yeah, so in India we started talking about financial planning, especially in last 5-7 years, and COVID made sure that your financial planning came into picture. So that financial planning made a difference, and then life planning also happened. So life planning is very niche, and it's completely different than, in life planning we don't talk about money at all.
Okay.
But yes, ultimately it gets connected to your goals.
So, what is life planning exactly?
Okay.
Because I'm also listening to this term
Yeah.
for the first time. I'm hearing it for the first time. It's very fascinating to me.
Yeah.
What is it?
So younger ones like you who come and tell us, okay, I have money, but I don't know what to do. Okay, so we start from there. So in search of your goals, financial goals, or maybe even life goals, right? So you say
How to keep them parallel, basically.
yeah, so your life goals to career goals to financial goals, they all have to run parallelly because it's one you, right? Who have to achieve that. So life planning is that step, which will make sure. So life planning we generally practice with people who say that I have no goals. Okay, I don't know what to do.
Okay.
Why do I have goals? So
I
we
should have
start
come
from
to
there.
you sooner, yeah?
We should start anytime. So life planning is all about that. And then we say, okay, so if you say I don't have goals, so I would, ask you a few questions. We have those set formats where we ask you a few
Questionnaire
questions. Yeah. So if we have to, quickly tell you, okay, just 3 questions. At each stage, 3 questions, 3 stages.
Can you give examples, 1 or 2 examples?
Yeah, so if I have
of
to
these
tell you, Shruti, you have, say, 10 years of your life, and what all is that you missed and you want to pursue.
Okay.
Okay, that's level 1. Level 2, I'll tell you, Shruti, you have 3 years of your life.
Okay.
Okay, so what is that you wanted to pursue and you didn't? Okay, then I'll say, okay, it's only 1 day of your life. What is that you wanted to pursue and you didn't?
Yeah.
Okay, so every time when I tell you 10 years, your things will be different. When I tell you 3 years, it will be different. When I'll tell you 1 day, it will be different. Right? So when I put these answers together, you have your goals.
Right.
Filtering. So the moment you have these goals, I know where to put the money then.
Yeah.
So that's how a process. So it's like a very in a short I told you, but it's like a 2 or 3 hour activity where you'll find people even when they realize, and you have to write it down, that you have only 1 day of your life.
You have to start thinking about it.
Yeah, so first it starts at 10 years and then you come down to 1 day. So it's something which is, when you, and these sessions, end of the session, everybody's crying. Okay, because there's so many things when I tell you what is that you missed.
Yeah.
Right? So everybody who's listening to us today, I'm sure if you're going to list down your goals today, 10 years from, in last 10 years or next 10 years, what you want to achieve, and 3 years and 1 day, you have your answers and start investing today. That's how you'll create wealth.
I heard about this very, very recently, as in before I was gonna come to Ahmedabad and do this. I saw this podcast where this where they were talking about something else, but this came up. The guest had taken a seminar, and in that seminar somebody had told her about triadic thinking, which is the same thing that you said, that if you take a triangle and what's the one thing on the top and the 2 things at the bottom. So they ask people that in 1 day, tomorrow, if you have to do something and you can do only these 3 things, what would you do? So is this the same thing, right? It's
Similar,
a triadic thing.
Similar,
yeah.
So, I mean, how it will take you is needs and wants.
Yeah.
Right. So, as a person, I will always focus on wants. Okay.
Yeah.
But as a planner, my choice will for you will be okay. We should do their needs first.
Yes.
You might say, okay, I want to buy a Land Rover, right? But right now, first requirement is save for your retirement. We'll not have pensions, right? So if you are going
Or
to
build a
compromise,
business so
yes,
that you can buy it later.
absolutely. So if you're not going to save money for those goals, then how will you buy? I mean, buying a Land Rover, मतलब कहाँ जाओगे?
Yeah. It's
Right?
like a full stop. It's not
Exactly.
a
Yeah.
comma thing that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So then, as a planner, my role comes into picture saying, okay,
Think
if
about
you buy,
your
if you buy a
wants,
Land Rover,
needs.
then these are getting compromised. Or you say, okay, I'm 40, I want to retire at 45, and this is the money, and I want to buy these 5 things. So if I make the financial working, it will say, okay, you know what? If you want to buy these 5 things, you can retire only at 50.
Right.
So then it's your choice ultimately that
Either to cut down on the wants
yes, or you
to
extend your retirement
extend
age.
yeah.
So on this portion, what works is you will always focus on wants.
Right.
Mine will be needs, and then we find a midway of needs and wants.
Good, we have somebody to do that. God knows we need it.
So that is what financial planning, life planning is all about. So this was something which I always wanted to do, and especially being a woman from a Gujarati family, it's always I have always seen in our culture where women are not party to money making decisions. Okay, if I want to still buy something, I would have to ask my family, right? Why? If I can make money, I can spend that money in a way, or I can manage it well also. So why is anybody else controlling it for me?
Exactly.
So I wanted women to make those choices for themselves, and that was the reason that okay, I quit my job and started off my own. So that is when the journey started.
That inspires you. Like
Absolutely.
Like that gives the purpose to what you're doing. It's not
Very
like
much.
money, and it's not just the finance part of it.
Absolutely.
The purpose is more deeper
Yes.
and human than the money.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of workshops for women, for different kind of groups, for underprivileged people. When you're delivering those sessions, the people who hear you, listen, they're sitting there listening to you. I mean, now because of COVID, we're doing webinars.
Yeah.
That connection does not build up well. But yes, when they're actually listening to you in audience, or maybe I do get callbacks saying, okay, we heard your webinar. In that, you will see women, sometimes you see people, are crying, saying, okay, you're saying so right, but I didn't do it. But
It's
I want to do it
overwhelming.
now. Yeah. So, a very small experience I'll share. I did a session for corporates. They run a CSR initiative, and where they invited all
CSR is?
your corporate social responsibility.
Okay.
So they do the sessions as a giveaway. So in their community, they had these maids. They said, "Will you come do it in local language? So Marathi, because it's Maharashtra." So okay, I'll do it. So for the first thing that for me was okay, I'm going to talk to people who can't read and write. Okay, what do I put up on a PPT? Right, so if somebody is going to see my presentation. So when we do it for corporates or
How do
any
you
groups,
break that ice?
yeah, so then how do I do that? And believe me, we had a 12:30 session.
Okay.
At till 1 o'clock there was nobody who came in.
Oh.
Not even one person. Okay,
It was all women's session.
only all women, and that too all maids.
Oh.
Or domestic help, we can define it. They're not doing only household work, but working somewhere. So by 1:30 we had over 80 women in the room.
Okay.
Okay, and I started my session, and I had made it an audio visual, and I made them do an activity saying, what do you dream? Can you draw? आप लिख और पढ़ नहीं सकते हो, draw तो जरूर कर सकते हो. Because Maharashtrian culture, people put rangoli outside their house every day.
You ask very questions that,
Yeah.
I've not heard anybody say in very recent times, what do you dream? Like,
We've forgotten that.
I mean, people, it's very...
So at that level, people drew house, people drew airplane, people drew a happy family, people drew a car, because for all of them, it made a difference. So at the end of the session, there were women who came and kissed my forehead. They wanted to touch my feet. They were much elder, 55, 60 age women. And believe me, those feelings, I still, whenever I talk about it, I have goosebumps, okay? That we tried to make it. So we set up bank accounts for them.
Yeah.
We tried to open, investments for them. we were successful in doing that. And so in Maharashtra, they have a saying.
And they understood like the
Absolutely.
process,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
were with it and everything.
I put up 5 videos of different things where government facilities are there that you should go and opt for it. Everybody has a savings account, but there's an insurance to it. You just pay 237 rupees and you are insured for that. And then women will say, okay, I have done it for myself. I said, boss, you do it for your husband. Husband. If he dies, you'll get the money. So make sure you pay for him. Because and most of them are drunkards and they're not working, women of the house is working. So we say, okay, pay for him. Something happens to him, you'll get the money. You'll be the beneficiary. You pay for yourself later.
Yeah.
So those education of basics, this is, okay, you do this, you'll get it. Savings, most of them didn't have savings account. So these are, those overwhelming experiences which made sure all the more, that I should not be doing a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah.
I want to do something which will touch lives and create a difference. And that's how Promore happened. So last year we started with Promore. Me and Ketan, we just happened to speak and said, okay, we should work together. Yeah. And financial planning per se is still very niche in India. Yeah. Not many people speak about. And if we say financial services, 4 crore PAN cards, that's unique PAN invest in equity, capital markets.
Right.
That's it.
Yeah.
We're a country of what? Trillions?
Yeah.
And we don't even invest. Billions actually. So we don't even invest enough. So that's how I said, okay, let's do that. Yeah. So that's how the idea of Promore FinTech came into picture. And we said, okay, let's build up a platform where we reach out to masses and we also create a niche vis-a-vis.
Yeah, that's interesting. So what all, say for example, I come to you and say that, these are my goals or dreams or plans, and like what would you suggest? Like what is the diversification of portfolio that you do for youngsters specifically and for women who are in starting out college, new business, or women who are starting to take charge of their finances?
Sure. So if somebody who is starting today, okay, so I'll just give you a thumb rule, okay. Thumb rule will be, standard, but it could be differing from person to person because everybody's goal is different, right? So as a standard per se, you need to have an emergency corpus. What if there's a job loss, if there's COVID again, or maybe a pandemic again where there will be no cash flows, people who are professionals, maybe there's a job loss. So these are the times which will save you for your emergencies. Okay. So you definitely need to have an emergency corpus, which should be living expenses of 6 months at least.
Okay.
After COVID or maybe during COVID, we made sure that we increased clients' emergency corpuses because 6 months for somebody who's on a higher level will not be able to find a job so quickly. So we wanted to increase that emergency corpus from 6 months to 1 year.
Yeah.
So that's the basic. Everybody should have an emergency corpus. So it could be in form of fixed deposit, it could be in form of sweep FD, it could be in form of savings balance, or maybe you use mutual funds category, which is called liquid fund. So there are enough categories available to invest for emergency corpus. I come across a lot of women who tell me that, okay, if the money is in the bank account, I will, spend it. So use these options so that you will not see the balance available in the bank account to be spent.
True.
So that's an emergency
or
corpus.
To buy shoes.
Yes. So that's your emergency corpus. Then you go ahead and have your sufficient medical insurance, right? Health insurance is what we call. COVID has taught us enough that how important it is to have a health insurance. So important to have sufficient health insurance. Wahan kanjoosi mat karo. You need to pay for the premiums, which will give you a tax benefit also.
Right.
Then you go ahead and say a life. If you're the sole breadwinner of the family, and your income is there are single mothers, single women, and you're the only sole breadwinner of the family, then you need to have a term plan also. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit more briefer on this, where we talk about term insurances. Right. In our country, we always wake up to saying somebody comes to your house and says, okay, you have to buy this product. We just buy it, okay? We don't even know what it is, what the product is, okay? I don't want to name a company, but private insurers came in much later.
Yeah.
Right? So till then, we never said. So it's like, tere paas Colgate. Do you use Colgate? Right? But we want to say toothpaste, right? Yeah. So the same way it is like, you have to say life insurance.
Yeah.
Right? So you need to have a term plan. Yeah. So term plan is purely death benefit. Okay, if I die, my family will receive money. So when you're doing that, what will happen now? If I'm the sole breadwinner of the family receives the sufficient money at death. You're clear about it. अगर मेरे को आज कुछ हो गया, मेरे फैमिली को पैसा मिलने वाला है. Okay, so term plans will always make a difference vis-a-vis any traditional investment that you will be doing. So any endowment or a money back or some fancy products which come out in the market, not required. Term plan is the only product that you need, and every insurance company. So I think as we talk, there are 24 life insurance companies in India, and everybody has a product called term plan.
Okay. That's the most basic thing that you need.
Basic thing that you need to have. Then you fancy your things as you have more cash flows. You buy those products. That's okay, but you need to have a term plan. We would have dealt with claims, death claims, okay, in last 1 year, where sole breadwinner of the family is no more. We have put it into the financial plan that you need a term plan. People will delay it. Insurance, you will never wake up yourself and say, I want to buy a term plan. Okay, it's always push product. And we are a funny country where motor insurance is mandatory. Okay, you all drive, right? I mean, we all drive vehicles.
Yeah.
How many of us say कि चल मैं car insurance नहीं लूँगी? Right? We just say it because it's mandatory, because the RTO will ask you.
Yeah.
But did anybody made a compulsion that you need to have a term plan? Because if you die tomorrow, how will your family survive?
True.
Have you planned for that? So it is such an important basic thing, but we still delay. I mean, we have clients whose list is there. Every time a review happens, we send them, term plan nahi liya hai abhi tak. They say, okay, you start with investment, we'll do term plan later. So, and another thing, as younger you are, it is cheaper.
Acha.
Yes.
There are perks to it?
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, when you have an insurance, any life insurance or even a health insurance, you're buying it cheaper when you're young.
Okay.
As we age, your premiums will increase. When the premiums are increasing, then you will start feeling all the more pinch.
Yeah.
Or I had seen at 20,000, now it is for 30,000. Then you still delay it.
Okay.
Procrastination is the biggest enemy.
Right.
So it's important that you have a term plan.
So so if someone comes to you for financial planning, first thing you will say that get a term plan.
Yes. So emergency corpus, health insurance, then term plan.
Okay. First emergency corpus,
Yes.
health insurance, and then term plan.
So these are three basics which has to be there for any individual whose earnings make a difference to the family.
Okay.
Okay, and then we go to your actual goals. So first goal, so we when we meet clients and we talk about it, or even meet just, and generally we talk about. So somebody who is much in early 20s, we say, okay, you should invest for retirement. That person will look at you and start laughing. I said, why? I'm too young. I said, yeah. But
Young people think they're not going to get old. I thought that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get old.
But the kind of lifestyle we deal with.
Yeah.
Today we want to go and buy a phone. We will not buy a Nokia, right? Just a keypad wala. Yeah. We want a touch phone, right? And that to an Apple, right? Yeah. A lakh rupee phone minimum, bare minimum, right?
Yeah. There has to be a logo attached to it.
Exactly. So if that fancy lifestyle we live, we are not going to have pensions. So it is so important that you need to have a retirement plan. Smallest of the money that you earn has to go towards retirement. Okay. So when you're doing this, when do I start investing for retirement? The day you have your first paycheck. Or when there are people who are, taught so well that, they start investing when they have start getting pocket money.
Oh, yeah. I've seen those high big achievers.
Yeah. So retirement and investing and money management is not taught in school or college.
That's the worst thing.
That's the sad part.
I got out of college and I was like, nobody taught me real things. What is this? This is a scam.
Yeah. So it's so important that we speak about retirement. And as a country, we are much younger.
Yeah.
So it's so important that we all, speak about it and, take action towards it.
And educate youth about it.
Exactly. Very much important. So you need to invest for retirement. That is basic. So smallest portion of the money has to be forgotten. Okay, so people who are salaried, they are on a advantage side because they have a PF, Provident Fund, right? Which people who are like us, entrepreneurs, we don't have that,
we have to do it ourselves.
Yes, we have to create it for ourselves. So, see, that's part of their CTC, but then still, you need to make a provision for yourself.
Right.
And the moment you become an entrepreneur, you have to give yourself the first salary. Okay, otherwise, someday you will quit that entrepreneurial journey and go back to job.
Right.
So you have to treat yourself also. So when you're treating yourself, one portion has to go towards investment.
Yeah. You have to give yourself some, what do you call?
Some
a little
incentive,
bit of that incentive, exactly.
of yours,
that's the right
towards
word. Yeah, you have to give
investing.
yourself some incentive and make yourself do these things.
Yes. So retirement is the first goal.
Yeah.
And then comes up your 10,000 goals that you will have. मेरे को कार खरीदनी है, मेरे को घर खरीदना है, मुझे फॉरेन वेकेशन जाना है, मुझे ये कोर्स परस्यू करना है, मुझे एक फैंसी कैमरा लेना है. Everything will come into picture. But these are your basics. If you're listening to us today, I mean, if they're watching us today, then it's so important that, these things have to be kept in mind. Because
The most basic.
very basic, bare minimum, right? So if you start packing for a journey, you'll take your toothbrush, you'll take your shampoo, you'll take your shower gel, you'll take your clothes, right? So these are your basics. When you start earning money, that's how your journey should start.
That's a nice way to put it.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's how life is a journey.
Yeah.
Right? So, in the journey, you'll have everything coming in your way.
Yeah, right. Nice. That everybody can do that, and that these are the basic things that people should do.
Yeah.
So taking your, at Promore, the work that you do, if somebody wanted to start, hire you as a financial planner and came to you or after watching this thought about that, oh, I want to speak with her and, go to Promore and, things like that. So what are the things that you would tell them? Do they need to worry about how expensive the services would be? What if the portfolios are not customized according to their wishes? And, what if you overpower the decisions? Or, the basic insecurities for approaching a firm like that, for such a heavy thing.
Sure.
So how would you make them comfortable that,
Simple question. You have a chest pain. Will you rush to a cardiac or you'll go to a GP? GP is your general physician, right? So you'll go to will you go to a cardiac? Yeah. Yes, the answer is yes. So when it's your hard-earned money, you have to go to an expert and do it.
Right.
Okay, I mean, so if you need legal advice, you'll go to a lawyer. You want something related to medicine, you'll go to a doctor. But when it comes to investment, you'll do Google, you will go to relative, you'll go to friends, and then if you think,
and a few failures.
And then you'll go to an advisor. So when it's about money management, you need to have an expert's hand-holding.
Yeah.
And okay, so now coming to Promore. So for us at Promore, we are very clear that we want to create wealth for clients. It's always going to be customized, because if you need mango, we'll tell you mango. But then if you say my friend is eating apple, can I eat apple? We'll say, okay, that's not fitting in your plan. Yeah. But if you want it, you can take it.
Right.
I mean, money management, and even when you're hiring services, you still have a choice, right? I mean, any service, not even financial services. The doctor will tell you, okay, you know what, this is an issue, you need to undergo a surgery. You don't say yes immediately, right? You go back, you discuss with family, you'll say, okay, you'll take a second opinion, right? It's a process, but you still go to an expert.
Yeah.
So money management is also supposed to be like that.
Yeah. At least you should take that first step.
Correct.
And
so ask, okay? So what my 16, 17 years of experience says is, people don't ask.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't ask, we'll assume that you know everything. Sometimes I do session for 100 people in a room, nobody will ask a question. So then I say, if there is no question, there are two things. Either you understood everything, or you didn't understood anything.
Yeah, you didn't listen.
So when you're in a live audience, people don't fidget because, the corporate has invited you and all of that. But then, I said, if you ask a question, your friend might, who's feeling shy will try to, get that knowledge from your doubt also. So we do encourage saying you have to ask questions. So there are a lot of times where I meet clients and say, okay, we have enough interaction, we have data exchange happening, we make a financial plan, and we do discuss about their goals and all. But then at one point, I'll feel that, okay, maybe I will not be able to meet up their expectation. I do sometimes, have to say that, okay, I can't meet your expectations.
Oh.
And even there are clients who, still date, touch wood, it's not happened that, clients would have gone from us saying, okay, we are not liking the way you customize our portfolio. Yeah. So when you say portfolio, the word itself says that life insurance, health insurance, mutual funds, stocks, bonds, fixed deposits, any of the schemes that you have to avail from government, all of that, becomes an integral part of your portfolio. And on the base, so it's always customized, right? You say, I don't want to retire. If you ask me, when will you retire? I don't want to retire. I want to work forever because I'm loving what I do.
Yeah.
So I don't need a retirement, right?
But you still have to save for the rainy day.
Absolutely. So I do. So I mean, yesterday evening I did a session for senior citizens. Okay. And we had audience who were aged above 65, and in that, when I spoke about will writing, everybody felt intimidated, saying
Uncomfortable.
yeah. And so I told them, I said, I'm much younger, but then I want to convey this message that, if your kids are going to ask you to write a will, you should write a will, because if you're not there tomorrow, the pain that family is going to go through is going to be crazy. So
And you don't want to leave them.
exactly. So if you ask me, have you written a will? I'll say yes. Whatever assets I have, I want them to be passed on easily. So if you own a real estate, you have to write a will. So these are your basic things which are so difficult to be spoken about. So if you don't ask questions, your answers are not given.
Yeah.
So if any services that you're availing from anybody, what all will be part of the package, you should know. That's what scope of work is.
I learned that in a very, like the thing that you just said about if you ask,
Yeah.
it is given. It's a very little story that I would like to share, because I always think of that story randomly whenever. So we went to Spain, me, my mom and my brother. We went for a holiday. We were in Barcelona. It was, I think, our second day or something, first day maybe. So we did like a day tour, and in the evening we were supposed to go to this flamenco dance show.
Yeah.
And it was in a little cute cafe, like this studio, and so there was the chairs there are, and there was this one big couch in the front, and there was the stage and everything, and we had reached late. The advisor had, when we did the booking, they told us that reach on time if you want good seats. We'd reached a little 5-10 minutes, you can say 5-7 minutes or something. And we reached there and we saw that so many people have taken the seats, but nobody has taken that sofa. So we went and we asked the guy of the cafe, the waiter or somebody, manager, he said that, yeah, you can sit there.
Wow.
And everybody was looking at us. They came late.
And they got
They
the couch.
sat. But because we asked,
Exactly.
they assumed that because it's a performance, maybe the artist will sit there. But it's a performance, artists are not going to sit.
Yeah.
So then when they saw us, then the two chairs were empty. So then people started coming and sitting there, and some people sat on the floor and everything.
Yeah.
That day I learned this. It stayed in my mind that,
You have to ask.
so if you ask, it's possible.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Talk to me about a very recent emerging thing, in the finance part, which is cryptocurrency. Does Promore have a portfolio where, they include cryptocurrencies? What are your thoughts? Would you advise people to get into? What are your personal thoughts about it?
So on a
It's very in with the youth also right
yes,
now.
Yes. Okay, so I'll tell you, okay, because we're talking about youth also. You ask them about basics, the youth will say, वो कर लेंगे. हाँ, crypto हाँ मुझे करना है.
Yeah.
But do you understand anything about crypto?
Exactly.
The answer is no. Because it's the hashtag trending thing, we want to do that. So, crypto per se, there is still a lot of clarities to be coming in from the taxation side and compliance side, okay? So for me, if you ask me, my straight answer is no. Or you should be investing that kind of money which is, to be forgotten.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Agree.
Okay, so somebody called and said, okay, I have 50,000. Should I invest? So I said, in crypto. Why aren't you saying that? I said, I have no clue about it because regulations hi nahi hai. There's no clarity about it. So, you want to invest? I'll not say a no. You invest, but you forget it. If you make
That
money
you're not
out
going
of
to
it-
get anything out.
If you lose it, you'll not feel bad about it because you knew you invested in such a way.
Yeah.
So that's my thought about it. But yes, if you see global data and people who are investing, who have made money, see, I mean, a small story, okay? It'll always happen that if I made money, I'll go and tell 10,000 people. Okay, if I lose money, I will not even tell anybody, okay, I lost money. Okay, even in stocks, okay? I mean, there are people who created a difference by creating wonderful platforms. But then there's a situation where people have no clue how to do it, what it is. And when you talk to an
People
advisor,
don't understand the basics of it.
Exactly. So same way goes for Bitcoin or maybe even crypto on a broader term. So Dogecoin was there. The moment there was a tweet, it started falling.
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I
Somebody's
know
buying a
whose tweet
stake,
you're
right?
talking.
So if there's something which is going to fluctuate by one social media message,
Yeah.
I think it's a bad idea, right? I don't want to put my money even one paisa over there.
Yeah.
So you need to understand what you're getting into. Okay, so even to everybody who's listening to us, all the investments that you do, okay, you should know what you're doing. So as a planner, when I sit with clients and we talk about it, we tell them, okay, see, this is your money, this is what we have planned for you, this is what the upside and the downside is, this is how you can exit, this is how you enter. Okay, for us it's a complete disclosure happening. But when we when we clients say, acha, you're saying now we'll do it, I said no, you need to know what is happening.
Yeah.
So for anybody who's signing a document or transferring money online to somebody for a service or investing into any particular avenue, you should know all the sides of it. Okay, so we had a friend who said I would have invested long back in Bitcoin, and I have to check where it is.
Check. Yeah.
You have to find it, right?
The e-wallet. Yeah.
So where it is a difficult question, right?
You can't see it physically, or
So
you can't
touch
hold it.
and feel,
Yeah.
right? So that is what about how it is.
Yeah.
So answer 2 is that should we invest into crypto? Until there is clarity in our country on the taxation bit or anything, you shouldn't be
Or on the
investing.
technology itself.
No, so technology platforms have come in who are doing this, okay? But then RBI is putting a lot of, hindrance in between, saying कि आप इतना ही कर सकते हो, ऐसे ही कर सकते हो. In between there was a circular saying you can't be any bank or a small bank or a NBFC transferring money to any of the your cryptos. I mean,
To buy cryptocurrencies.
yeah, so you're not allowed. Transaction platform will not be allowed. Okay. So then there were restrictions. So that is the day when you want the money and it's hit the high. How will you withdraw?
Yeah.
Right? So any investment that you choose, you should know how to exit.
Yeah, exactly. Very important.
So we don't read the fine print.
Yeah, we just see the front door. We have to also get out. Like we have to see the both exits.
And investing has to be boring.
Yeah.
If it isn't boring, then there's something wrong with it.
Okay, interesting.
So
If you're very excited, it's wrong.
No, you can be excited, but the planner or
No,
your
if it looks like
advisor.
too good to be true, and if you're very excited, it's probably not the right thing to do. I heard, like, I was watching this one interview, and the founder of Zerodha was talking about the same thing. Because I was trying to I was trying to hear things about crypto and everything, and he said this one thing that if you like a 10 rupee note, for example, you know what you can buy. You can buy a chocolate, you can buy 3 things, whatever. With a crypto, you can probably buy like maybe a lot of gold, or maybe it would worth to 0.
Yes.
So that and that stuck with me. Like, I was like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, that you have to keep in mind the risk part of it.
Absolutely.
That it's something very volatile.
Yes.
It's not as
easy as bank fixed deposits.
Easy and as substantial and very solid as the current financial, the situation and the cash that we see physically and hold.
Yes.
So I want to know more about the business side of things. How did you create a financial planning company? How did that come about? Like, say, for example, somebody who's studying MBA in marketing and finance right now, and they feel that, this should be my bigger goal in life. Would you suggest them that, it's good to take corporate experience? Or should they directly go for, if they have the means to do, like, start their own company? What would you suggest, and how has your experience been like creating the company? Like, it's been a few years now. So how has it been for you?
For me, it was very clear in my mind that I want to be an entrepreneur. Okay. So it was not that difficult. But when I meet a lot of new ones who want to become an entrepreneur, they ask, how were you able? I mean, that one SMS which comes on 1st of every month will stop. That's what their acceptance will come in, right? The moment the salary stops. So I started giving myself a salary every time I made money. I have to give salary to myself. Yeah. That was the one easiest step. But yes, on a broader note, on a business per se, when I had this thought of starting a business, back of the mind worry is always there. Okay, what if it does not work?
Yeah.
Okay, so you create. I made a plan for myself first.
Okay.
Okay, I need to have my emergency corpuses. My insurances are to be taken
Before leaving
care.
the job?
Yes, you need to have have a roadmap. If you don't have a roadmap, so example, if I want to go from here to Goa, so first I need to have a plan. Okay, which route I will take, what hotel I will stay, what I'll eat, or what I want to explore. Right. Same way, it will go for any decision of life you want to take, especially on the business front. One, I was very clear that no looking back. I'm not going back to that 9 to 5 job for sure.
Okay.
And when I was working, if somebody tells me that let's do a meeting on a Saturday or a Sunday, I would feel terrible. I said, my chutti, why should I work? And today, when you're an entrepreneur, I mean, it's, you tell me 6 in the morning, okay, 6 o'clock, let's catch up at the airport, I will come.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I'll not feel stress about it. I mean, that's the happier part of it. That okay, it's my own company, I'm doing something for my own.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And my field
But
especially,
the motivation is different.
absolutely on a different level. Okay. Every smaller achievements we have celebrated, touching that first crore of asset management, or having first 100 clients, or one client's goal got achieved and he bought a vehicle that he wanted to forever buy. So goal achievement. So we celebrate with clients also sometimes. So these are those smaller things which made sure that it's motivated for yourself, self-motivation.
Yeah.
That's something which is very important. And when you're starting, should I take a work experience first and then start off my own? I think those barriers are gone now. Okay. See, when I did my MBA, there was nobody to tell me even what should be there. So if I watch a CNBC and there are 2 strips going, just going around like this, I never knew what they were. I had to ask in my office. I said, "वो दो क्यों चलती है? एक क्यों नहीं चलती है?" So then I was told it was one is BSc, one is NSc. Okay, so I started from there.
Yeah.
So for anybody who wants to be an entrepreneur, is very clear in the mind. You don't need to have a work experience. You learn there are enough courses. There is enough content available online. You read about them. You take those examinations, do those certifications, which will see eventually whatever you learn on theory, practical is very different. Thumb rules, like your basics remain the same, but still you still need to read the fine print.
Right.
So it's important that you should be clear in your mind what you want to do.
Right.
So in India, if you have to see percentage wise, the number of advisors to the population is hardly anything. For every 25,000 people in our country, there is one advisor. So look at the broader scope of this field.
Yeah.
And if anybody who comes to me and asks me, should I be in this field? My answer is yes.
Yes.
Because,
Please.
yes, because you are good at your field. Yeah. You know how to make money. But to manage that, you need somebody.
Yeah.
Right? So that is my answer to them, saying, okay, it's a wonderful field to be, because it's a riskier thing also, because if you screw up,
the
for a client,
repercussions are big.
Yes. So you need to make sure what you're doing is right. You have done your due diligence. You are in constant touch, upgrading yourself.
Yeah, not just that you have a degree and you want to do
that
this.
does not
to
work.
have a different kind of inclination towards
so that does not work. So any field, be it any. So it is important that you keep upgrading yourself. So yes, the answer is yes, that can you be in this business, and why in this business? Yes, I told you, right, I had experiences where women were never party to make money making decisions, and I always want, I'll go that extra mile for women, especially women.
Yeah.
Okay, the woman is taking, and I insist that the spouse also has to be in a meeting.
Yeah.
Because what we are creating is the family's goal and not an individual's goal. Right? So women has to be party to the decision making of money management also.
Right.
So it's been an amazing journey. So we cater to over 400 plus clients now. And over, when you say financial planning per se, as families, over 85 families that we cater to as financial planning. And we're trying to build up an organization, as an institution where it does not be only, one person. We have a team who's getting nurtured under me. We have an office in Ahmedabad, we have an office in Mumbai.
Okay.
And we have team who's growing with us.
Yeah. Okay. So if somebody wants to learn from you,
yes,
they can join the team.
We can try, so that because a lot of confidentiality
is required.
So that we do. But then yes, basic trainings. There are enough courses around. We can recommend few courses which can be pursued. to get better. So CFP is one of them, Certified Financial Planning. It's a global certification.
Okay.
So if you are a CFP and you say you shift abroad to a country where CFP is there, so you just give the tax paper and you can practice financial planning in that country.
Very good.
So CFP is something which is very global. Life planning is something which was out of choice. And then there are other, live experiences that you get from practitioners already. There are enough organizations who, do such things. So you can. That's answer. No, I mean, that zest of learning has to be there.
Yeah. You have to do it for the right reasons.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do it for the right reason and and anything that you're trying to do good, I think in the universe always helps you do
The
it.
bigger long-term effect is always good.
The ripple effect is what I feel that we did it. So I mean, last 3 months we have got like at least 4 calls from clients who called and said, okay, we never knew what wealth creation was.
Yeah.
We both as husband and wife earned money. We spent money. We bought real estate, but we haven't been able to see that wealth which we have
That we have worked for.
Yeah.
So hard.
Yeah. So we have, that thank you call when that comes, I sometimes get tears in my eyes, but yes, we made a difference. Yeah. So, those are those calls which came and saying, okay, because of you, we have our house now. Because of you, we are debt free.
Yeah, very important.
I mean, being debt free is so important. See, I mean, suppose you buy a phone on a loan, right? EMI. You still have to pay that EMI every month, right? Instead, I say you save that money every month and then buy the phone. See the difference of the happiness that you will get. मैंने save किया और मैंने buy किया.
Perspective.
Yes. So if I tell you, okay, start investing today, you'll say no. But I'll say, okay, buy that product on EMI, you'll say, immediately. So that's how, yes. So that's how your investments also should begin. That, okay, save for it. Automatically you'll create value for it. And then when you buy it, you'll always, feel that ownership. So same way that the kind of business that we are creating at Promore FinTech, yes, it's that. Okay. That we want that it's a bigger institution reaching out to masses. When we're reaching out to masses also, we want to be, niche where, the way we create difference to people's life, yes, we want that, our identity to be in that way.
Right. Very interesting, all the points that you were saying, all the insights that you were giving. Since we are in a pandemic and, everybody has had a disadvantage from a pandemic, everybody looks at pandemic from the, that it is a disadvantage. What is the one thing in your life that you thought was a disadvantage, but it turned out to be a better thing in the longer run? Is there anything? So when last year pandemic struck, okay, I was in Cochin on 12th of March, and they told me that you should prepone your flight and go back. I was there to do a workshop. They told you that? Yes. Okay. The hotel where I stayed, they told me you should prepone your flight and go because Kerala might shut down. And that time I never had a thought, that shut down, Mumbai can't shut down. So that was the thought. So they said, no, you should. And I preponed and I went back. And then when I was at Kerala airport and all of that, the way I saw things, people were panicked, wearing masks. I didn't even have a scarf to cover my face that time. And everybody was, holding handkerchief and all of that. How out of body that experience feels? It was scary. It took me 3 hours to come out from Bombay airport that night. At 1:30 is what I reached home. And I was so scared. And then next day when I went back to office and we wrapped up things and said, I told my employees, my colleagues that, okay, go back home, take everything that you want from here. We are not working for next 3 weeks. Right. We'll see how things turn out and then we'll see. Yeah. But then even after that 15 days, 12-15 days, Mumbai was working. Yeah. And then that Janata Curfew and all happened. So the biggest fear was, okay, how will we have the balance of home and office? Okay. Disadvantage was you have to do everything. Today we have domestic help there, but that time it wasn't. So that balance was a difficult one, very difficult one though. But in that times, clients had a lot of time. Okay. People who never thought about money management or even, okay, we left our conversation halfway. Yeah. Or people whom I met 2 years ago said, we'll come back to you, but never started investing. Yeah. All of them came back. Okay. And we reached out by ourselves to clients saying, we are not vacationing for next 2 years. At least foreign vacations are not happening. Yeah. Let's divert money from,
your vacation money to investments.
Yeah.
Let's do it for 2 years, then we'll see.
It was a good trigger where people started going from wants to needs.
Absolutely.
Immediately.
Yes. That was an amazing time. And we took that call as a team that, okay, we want clients to invest money. When market was falling every day 1,000 points in March, okay, where, clients would call and say, I want to stop my investments, stop my SIPs, markets is crashing, but world is not coming to an end. It's not going to be zero. Index will never become zero. So falling markets, because we're doing this for so many years, we say markets niche gira hai, you have to take advantage of it. If you don't invest at the bottom, then when you have the FOMO, you'll invest at the peak. Right? You'll create that fear saying, okay, I missed out.
Yeah.
Right? So it's important that you have to trust somebody whom you're taking advice. And vis-a-vis, you also have to make sure that, okay, you're with the right person, and he's the person who you're taking advice from is, making sure that your goals are in line with your investments. So disadvantage was you had to do everything, but advantage was clients had a lot of time to think about everything, discuss. So I worked 16-18 hours a day in April and May last year. But it was all worthwhile, because today when we see the results of, diverting vacation money,
that time you just did it. Like there was
we just did it because we said we want. See, when markets are falling, people are very fearful. Okay, यहाँ से नीचे और चला जाएगा तो क्या? But somewhere you have to catch that bottom. Okay, lowest bottom नहीं होगा, but कहीं तो bottom है.
Yeah.
Right? And when your goal is longer.
Yeah.
Okay, so you needn't worry about it.
Yeah.
So that one fear, see, it's human behavior. So sometimes, if I'm in a different mood and somebody asks me, what do you do for living? I say, I do people's behavior management. I don't say money management.
Why do you say that?
Because when market was falling every day, clients would call and tell us that, okay, markets are falling. Should we exit all the investments and sit on cash? I said, cash में लेके क्या करेंगे?
वो तो उतना ही रहेगा.
It will not, it will give you what, basics? Yeah. And because your goal is 20 years, then you have to be there. No? Let's put in more money. Or let's diversify. From if it's something which is on debt, let's move it to equity now.
Yeah.
So when we called saying vacation money ko, let's put it into equities, the clients were telling us, are you mad?
Achha.
Then we said, no, that's our call, that we want to do it for clients, because this is not going to stay forever. Somewhere it will revive from it. Na? So people who listened to us has made money. People who didn't, he said, no, you have gone mad, you lost it. You're not doing this. Who didn't do it, they are still there. Okay, but then that is a difference that you will always get when you're doing it to yourself and you're doing it through somebody's expertise. Yeah. Because when market is crashing, you will say, okay, out of fear, you will say, let me just exit, I don't know what is happening. But when there's an advisor, you will go and ask, Acha, kya ho raha hai? Kya lag raha hai?
What do you think?
Yes. So we play that anchor role. So sometimes it's stressful because, so many people believe on you and, trust you.
And you don't want to let them down.
Yeah. And advantage of that was, okay, we were able to create a lot of wealth for everybody. Okay. And so and then when, clients come back and tell you, we are more happier. When they write you a mail and say, thank you for this. We are glad we did this decision. We finished off loans. So because of pandemic, you're not going out, you're not shopping, you're not eating out. No Zomato, no Swiggy that time. The first wave didn't have it. Yeah. So we did one exercise with everybody saying, you do budgeting. How many of you write your expenses? Expenses, you write down. Then you will come to know that what are you spending. So today we use plastic money, right? Or your wallets.
Yeah.
But we never realize, कि कितना spend हो गया.
Yeah.
The moment
There's
you start
no keeping
giving
count of things.
The moment you start giving hard cash, every time you pay somebody from your hand, next time you will think twice. Should I be spending that money?
It's psychological.
Okay, so it's important that cash flow budgeting. Yeah. Is so important. So we did this exercise with most of them, saying you check out the bills of February, you check out the bills of April, and May we'll invest.
Okay.
So traveling stopped, fuel expenses stopped, so many things stopped, right? So all these which stopped,
which were disadvantages, you can look at it
on the better side of it, saying, okay, let's invest and let this money grow.
But when it was happening, did you naturally feel it like that, or you were just like you were not aware of the bigger picture then? You were not thinking about the bigger picture, but you were like, as you said, it will not be zero at least.
Yeah. So see, nobody can predict. Okay. But we knew that better days will always be there.
Right.
So if you don't take the advantage of bottom, how will you be able to take those calls? So we knew it is coming, but it will come so fast. We didn't knew this.
Yeah.
Right? The pickup was very fast. But yes, someday it will come. We knew because I started working in 2005 when Sensex was 6,000. In 2008 January, it went on till 21,000. 6,000 to 21,000 from 2005 to 2008. Okay, and it crashed like pack of cards. Yeah, January 2000. That was my appraisal day. I know that. I still remember that. I said I was told, okay, stop. We'll talk later.
Oh my God.
Because market was just falling, and then it went on down to 8,000. 21 to 8. And from 8 to again wherever we are. I think today we are at 56 or something.
Okay.
So it's been a journey, right? So 2005 to 2008 to 2014 to 13, 14, 16, whatever crashes you want to say. Those crashes will come and go.
Yeah. So basically, every time a bad thing happens, if you remember the previous bad thing, and if you remember to learn the right thing from it, the next bad thing that happens, you will be able to better, predict the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Great. So now we're going to move to the fun segment of the podcast. It's going to be light and everything. So I'm going to ask you like 5 questions and you have to be like quick and everything. If you want to like explain the answers, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's the one thing that you're curious about apart from finance and number crunching and all that?
I'm curious about how people have a perception towards life so light. I mean, I can't take life so lightly.
Yeah.
When I meet a lot of
people,
people are not serious about a lot of things.
like they're not awestruck that we are here.
Yeah.
They take it very matter-of-factly.
Yes.
That,
Okay.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah, let's like that. Okay. So like, okay. I said, okay.
Yeah,
so that is something, So that is something which makes me a lot curious.
Yeah. The origin of life and the fact that we are on this planet. Amazing. What's the one person that you're curious about? That you feel like, oh, I'd like to know about what went on in his head or
Rahul
her head. Rahul Dravid?
I've been a great fan for following for him for ages.
For his dependableness that people call
that
him.
all came much later, yeah. So I think the first time that he played with versus England and all of that, I was in
Rahul
college.
Dravid fans are going to be happy.
Yeah, so it's been so many times I go to Bangalore for work and I tell my friends in Bangalore saying you should take me to his house at least once when he's there.
Yeah. Oh.
So I want to have coffee with him.
Have you been there?
No. So sometimes when we pass by, say, okay, see, Rahul Dravid stays here. So I'm being told, obviously, he stays here. So,
interesting.
So yeah, so I mean, the way his career turned, all the ups and downs. He was captain for India. We didn't win the World Cup, but still,
the grace
way, the
and
consistency,
dignity with
the
which he
discipline,
lived.
he has.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's somebody whom I admire actually.
Nice. What's the one new technology that's coming up that you were curious about?
Investing made so simple by Finbyte, by Promore, right? Okay. So we started our own app called Finbyte. So you go to Play Store and iOS, you have our app, and the moment you are my investor, you can access that app and have all your investments under that. So that was technology that we worked in last 1 year on that, where we wanted that it has to be a one-window shop, where if I have insurance, I have FD, I have PPF, I have insurance, be it motor, life, health, be anything, I want that in my, you name it, and all the assets are inside that app.
And it's made very easy. Like no one would have thought 20 years back this
Absolutely.
would be
Not even, you just say, I mean, when I started working, we used to fill up physical forms.
Yeah.
Today you say, I want to invest 10 crores, say in 5 funds, we'll just send you one link. Like in 10 seconds, you'll have that link. Yeah. You click on it and investment is done.
Today the college kids can open like a demat account.
Absolutely.
Like, we could not that.
So we had to sign so many papers. There was so much of fine print and all. Yeah. So technology is something which, for us, the platform that we have built up, I'm very
happy with
very happy the way it's turned up and the feedbacks that we are receiving.
Finbyte,
yes. FINBYTE.
BYTE. Okay, good. I'll check it out.
Sure.
What's the one place you're curious to travel to?
Oh, so
Like again, we put the one day thing. Like if you had to go somewhere tomorrow.
one place tomorrow.
Yeah, that would be easier, I think.
So one place tomorrow, I think any seaside is more pleasing to me. So
Like Maldives or something?
No, yeah, that's too hypered. Unexplored, maybe Lakshadweep side. I mean, the seaside of that portion of our country is never spoken about.
Yeah.
So that is something which I want to go and explore.
Nice.
Do snorkeling and
You like water sports?
yes.
Okay. Great.
So that's one place that I would want to go.
Maybe we should go together.
We should.
Nice. What's the one material, book, movie recommendation that you would give that has impacted you, and that you would like, that this was interesting that I read or I saw, and you would like to share with somebody?
Movie, I think. So I'm a emotional person a lot, though I deal into money management.
I can fully believe that.
So friends, especially our life, apart from family also. So Zindagi Na Milegi Dobara is one movie which is go-to movie for me at any point. And Andaz Apna Apna is, okay, I want to keep watching it, and you forget about life hassles and just watch it and sit and relax. And book, okay, every time you read, I mean, there are many, many books, yeah. So it's always upon the mood that you want to read on. So there's a book by... on the how you get your processes right. Okay, I really get fascinated by reading Atul Gawande's The Checklist Manifesto. Okay, that's something that you want to set processes. So it could be your life, it could be anything.
Set a system, basically.
Yeah, set a system. So that is something which every time I read, I have a different perspective. Alchemist is something which always, every time you read, there's a different
You've read
perspective.
Alchemist?
So many times. So that is something, I mean, I'm not an avid reader, but yeah, once in a while I do read.
I can't even dare to read Paulo.
No, I have read most of his books. So yeah, so
You'll get along well with my brother.
Yeah, so that is something which has kept me going. And apart from that, I do travel a lot for work. So meeting different people, eating local food, your culture, different cultures that you... So I can eat
Just
and taste
living life,
everything. Yeah,
basically.
just take a chill pill and enjoy. Rest all will still go on.
So we've reached the end of our podcast, and I would like to ask you, like, since I'm doing this for the first time, do you have any feedback, any advice, any thoughts that you want to share that I did not ask you about, anything that you want to say?
Thank you for this. I really enjoyed shooting this with you. It's an amazing way that you're doing it, and you're reaching out to different genres. I think not everybody does it, because people will be specific, holding to a topic, and keep doing the same thing again and again in different ways. But this is like you're doing completely different. So I really liked it. Because when I was told you want to do something like this from financial services, then okay, let's go and do it. So that was the thought.
Thank you for being so on the spot, and you're spontaneous and everything.
So keep it up. Keep doing such things. And I want to sum up what, as when we spoke about what you should be doing. So as I spoke about your financial services, plan per se, have goals. Don't keep all your eggs in one basket. All money can't be in FD. All money can't be in real estate. That's very important. So it has to be bifurcated. That's something which I really want to say to younger ones at least. So, and rest, it's like कहीं निकलने के लिए कहीं जाने के लिए निकलना पड़ता है. So
कहीं पहुंचने के लिए कहीं से निकलना जरूरी है.
So निकलो. So start that journey with smallest amount. So that will help.
Great.
So that's what I want to say.
Thank you so much for taking the time. It's been a pleasure. I've learned so much. I'm going to bother you for everything so much.
Anytime.
And hopefully we'll do this more.
Definitely. Thank you so much.